these videos
of the UFOs
of the release that the Pentagon released of the UFOs, no one gives a shit. And like, fine, that's fine because there's enough insane conspiracy theories going on right now. But didn't you pull up an article? Didn't you have something that you wanted to read on this topic?
I mean, it was just from the New York Times. They were basically saying like there's stuff that got released, but it probably doesn't mean anything. Like that's kind of the title of the article says the Pentagon released UFO videos. Don't hold your breath for a breakthrough. And so it's basically, oh, screw you, New York Times. You gotta like sign up for their bullshit.
All right, so this is my thought on any type of.
I thought I had the full version.
Unidentified flying object.
Yeah, here we go. I've got it.
Here, let me make my point real quick. So any type of unidentified flying object is exactly that. It's unidentified, and to automatically make the assumption that it is aliens is a massive fallacy.
Yeah, and basically they're saying the Pentagon released 3 Navy videos that have driven speculation about unidentified flying objects for years, saying it meant to clear up any misconceptions about whether the unclassified footage was real or complete. And they said it's real, and they included links so curious people could download the footage for themselves. The videos captured by naval aviators show objects hurtling through the sky, one rotating against the wind, and pilots can be heard expressing confusion and awe. When they first appeared online, they breathed new life into the decades-long conversation about whether interstellar visitors had ever come to Earth. So basically, this release is spurring up tons of alien talk and all this stuff, but people don't know why something happened, but that doesn't mean it happened because of aliens. But, I mean, they're basically speaking about how the objects seem to defy the laws of physics. So these objects that are unidentified seem to be objects that are doing things like, for example, I've heard it described like Bob Lazar was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about these things that he would see.
The gravity things.
Yeah, these gravity things. And basically, like, you know, imagine an insect is able to navigate the sky better than
pilot,
a drone even, or something. Like if I have this like skull in my hand and I'm able to go like whip, 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 like I can move it in space in a crazy way. Like I can whip it all around. Imagine if a spaceship or a plane was able to move through the sky and just do all kinds of weird stuff.
Zero resistance, zero gravity, zero downforce,
stuff
zero
that you just can't even like explain.
Yeah, like insane aerodynamics.
Yeah.
But I mean, so this
you're like, put that away.
No, because audio people have no fucking clue what's happening right now.
Well, I'm talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the way I think about it is like, oh, okay, the pilots are Navy pilots. They're trained pilots that spend a lot of time in the air.
You're saying the people that made the videos?
Well, that locked on radar these things. They tend to be very surprised. They're in awe. They're not really freaking out. They just think it's cool. They think it's crazy. You can actually find this video literally anywhere. And it is neat to see. And it's like they're pilots. They spend a lot of time in the air. They know how things act. They know how things behave. You know how they should move.
What's possible, what's
possible, what's not possible. But I also people fail to forget that, like,
they fail to forget or they fail to remember.
No, fail to remember. Thank you. So they fail to remember that every country has some type of military and some type of secret surveillance program or secret like programs that are developing technologies that
experimental technologies
that seem to defy the laws of nature. I mean, even if you think about like our cell phones, if you tried to explain the phones we have today to someone that was alive 30 years ago, they might murder you. Like, they might freak out, be like, wait a minute, you tell me there's invisible waves in the air that send information back and forth to a piece of metal and glass inside your pocket that then transfers information to your brain? Huh? You know, you got to remember that those type of things exist, and we have big players. We've got...
And they might only be like 30 years ahead. Like you were saying, you know, you talked to someone like 30, 40 years ago about a modern smartphone. It's so far-fetched. But even if we were talking about, like, for example, another country that's developing this experimental stuff, or heaven forbid, aliens, they might not even have to be that much more advanced than us to have technology that we don't know about, because technology moves so quickly.
And they might have been able to build it and package it in such a way. And we've got huge people, like we've got Iran, we've got China, we've got Russia. Like there's plenty of people that want to spy on the U.S. You know, like those are just a couple of countries. Like there's North Korea, like we were just talking about. Like there's so many.
They can't even build a rocket correctly, though. I'm not worried about them.
Right. But I guess I'm continually just trying to say, like, because something is unidentified, to automatically make the jump and the assumption that there's aliens is ridiculous. But I do believe that there are aliens. I do believe that
intelligent life
exists outside of Earth.
Do you think we've been visited by aliens?
I don't think so. I think the universe is too big. So this is, well, maybe this is my thought. So we live in a pretty much infinite amount of space with infinite amount of numbers of planets and exoplanets and stars and galaxies and super galaxies and clusters, and like,
yeah,
the probability of there being Earth-like creatures or an Earth-like planet with Earth-like creatures who evolved the same way that we evolved, the probability, like infinity, is a huge number.
Yeah, but it, like, for example, if let's say aliens could in fact like bend space-time in a way where you're, you know, like, okay, we need to get here, we're trying to go here, and you could, if it was like a flat plane, but you could like fold it like a book or something, you know, like make a wrinkle in time essentially, because like, but I mean, that is super far-fetched, but I feel like, you know, Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff like that, those have like opened our minds to like what's possible. Do you even think it's possible to have like a map of the galaxy and be like, oh, we're trying to get to Tatooine, so we're just gonna, you know, hyperspeed it over there?
The way I think about it is, imagine every grain of sand that exists in the entire world.
Yeah,
being able to organize and being able to discover and to find and to go to each one of those places, that's just insane to think about. And the distance between them are like hundreds of light years and millions of light years, and like that's just insane to me. And
it seems silly to say that there's no intelligent life out there. Like, it seems very silly to think in the vastness of infinity that we are the only unique creatures on some little rock.
That's not what I'm saying.
I know. I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you. Like, it seems ridiculous to think, because I agree. I think there's aliens. I think that they're probably very different than us, and they're probably intelligent in a different way, but maybe they don't even communicate with voice. Maybe they communicate in another dimension, like another space that we like. Because I mean, if not to get too down this rabbit hole, but like as humans, we only know about the world because our brain is interpreting signals through our sensory organs. We have eyes that can see, and then our brain maps what it's seeing. You know, it's just interpreting light rods and cones or whatever, but we're able to create a map of what's real, quote unquote. Then we have smell. We can sense things that are invisible. Smell is invisible, but we can sense it in certain ways, and we can even smell if something's far away or close up, like based on the intensity. We've got ears that are developed to be able to sense where sound is coming from, but sound is invisible too.
Just look at the diversity of all of the animals and insects and fish. Just look at the diversity on our own planet.
In the ocean, bro.
In our own
aliens exist in the ocean, bro. In our octopus, those are fucking aliens, bro.
Yeah, in our own planet. And I think the possibility of there being aliens is massive. I think the probability of them being able to find us or being able to find them is slim to none. But this is the one thing that I like to think about that's cool. So in order for a species to get off its planet, it has to become interplanetary.
Mm-hmm. By definition, yes.
So it has to be able to go to the moon. It has to be able to go to Mars. And then it has to be able to go outside of its star. It has to become
outside of its own solar system.
It has to become interstellar. It has to transition into interstellar. Yeah. And I think also, and the only way to do that is to harness nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is universal, meaning nuclear energy exists, splitting atoms exists throughout the entire universe. So every
if we're to believe that that atoms make up all matter and all that.
I mean, that's what science says for now.
Yeah,
that's what we know.
Sure. But we don't really know what dark matter is, though, right? Like black holes type shit.
I mean, that's way deep in the rabbit hole, but yeah.
But still,
yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about interstellar shit, then sure.
Yeah, but I think there's also certain.
But nuclear is the only way that we can harness that much power in such a small area. Like we couldn't launch a spaceship interstellar with the technology we have, but if we could somehow harness like nuclear technology. In a small form factor.
Yes, exactly. So first is nuclear, and I think a lot of people, a lot of humans or like human-like species or organisms, I think there's certain barriers. I think you have to be able to harness nuclear energy, and I think the next one is you have to be able to survive pandemics, because pandemics are viruses, diseases. You have to survive extinction, basically. Like you have to be like the dinosaurs probably would have still been around.
Well, fuck that too. I mean, you have to be able to even survive without oxygen.
Right, but I'm just saying there are certain like thresholds you have to cross in order to become like this elite
interplanetary.
Interplanetary.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. On the other planets, this society would have to overcome so many things.
Not just ours, but theirs too. So the way I think about it is, how cool would it be is if you basically only get an invite once you are interstellar. Like, I think that they look at, if they are watching us, if there's a part, they're like, oh, they,
some
them,
sort of intelligent life forms.
It's like, okay, look, there's an intelligent species on this planet. We got to wait for them to figure out
interstellar technology.
We gotta wait
before we can hang out with them.
They got to figure out how to harness nuclear energy. Boom, they figured out nuclear energy. Okay, we got to wait for them to figure out how to survive pandemics and how to live an extinction. Oh, cool, they've survived extinction long. They know how to survive extinction long enough that they've had enough time to develop nuclear energy in order to get them to be interplanetary, in order for them to become interstellar. And once you are a species that are interstellar, I think maybe at that point is when you kind of like
get contacted.
When you get contacted. Is when you merge with other people when you're an interstellar. And by the way, guys, let's talk about more about this on the podcast discussion group in Facebook. Like this is going to be a lit topic because we don't have a lot of time to keep going on this, but like I have a lot of thoughts about this.
What do you think about this? Like, so for example, humans, we are motivated by pleasure and reproduction, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, we want to have sex and we want to eat good food and we want to relax and we want to hang out and not be under stress. Like, those are like, everyone wants to look good, feel good, make money. You know what I mean? The reason why you want to make money is so you can have the freedoms to do what you want to do. And who's to say that these other intelligent life forms, whether they're intelligent or not, maybe they're even an artificial intelligent type thing, like a melding of biomechanics, mechanics. You know what I mean? Like a combination of a machine and a biological thing that was natural and then somehow whatever. But
I think
but
they
anyways,
could also be.
But they might be not motivated by the same things we're motivated by.
Agreed.
Maybe they only exist to advance. And you could say humans are like that too. But most humans just want to like hang out and enjoy life and like.
Well, whenever
love,
people ask like, "What's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life?" Reproduce. That's the basic. That's literally your whole existence.
I think love and be loved too.
Yeah,
which falls into that.
But I'm just talking.
Sex is part of love, and reproduction is part of that.
Right. So reproduction, and then humans like pleasure seeking, but also humans are conquerors. And I feel like
true power.
And I feel like pretty much any other species that is trying to become interplanetary and interstellar has conquered planets and have conquered solar systems. You think they're gonna stop? You know, like
True.
like I think there's also a resource pirates. Like, think about these like, imagine there's this huge,
like an Avatar when they went to they wanted unobtainium.
Yeah, like I think there could be like aliens that are like, oh man, Earth's got a shit ton of gold. We need gold really bad. Like, let's just fuck that planet up. You know, like.
Yeah, or they maybe even just need like sand or like something stupid that's not even like rare, but we've just got an abundance of it.
Yeah, water, you know, like like salt.
That's what we're always looking for on other planets. Water. We've got a ton of water.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like here on Earth, diamonds are rare, but there's planets that are made of diamonds. You know what I mean? Like the opposite can be true as well. And it's like
so it's not necessarily rare in the grand scheme of things, but it's rare in the sense that they're hard to obtain because on Earth we have a limited amount.
Yeah, and it's almost
And
like
we can't go interstellar and find those diamond places.
We almost maybe don't want to be contacted because contact could mean imminent death.
Oh, of course.
It could be like, hey, everybody, over here, look at us. We want to join your party. And everyone's like,
ooh, food.
Everyone's like, all right, let's go kill these fuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we got ourselves another Homo sapien planet thinking they know what's in that thing. Oh, they harnessed their nuclear energy. Oh, they got bombs. They're going to blow us up. Oh, they went interplanetary now. Okay. Let's stop them in their tracks. You know, like, or like some type of crazy interstellar government or, dude, I don't know. My brain's.
Or maybe they just want to probe our anuses.
Oh, God. Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you'd like to see the full episode, click right here. If you'd like to subscribe, click here. If you'd like more clips, we got 2 more right over here.